Welcome, friends, to the world between realms, a place where shadows whisper, the unseen stirs, and ancient currents move just beneath the fabric of reality. I'm your host, Max, Reiki Master, psychic, medium, and traveler of the in-between, inviting you to step with me into the liminal spaces where spirit speaks and the mysteries unfold. Here, we explore what most never dare to touch, the wisdom carried on the breath of the other realms, the signs hidden in plain sight, and the encounters that awaken something ancient within us. And a gentle note before we journey deeper, everything shared in the space reflects the perspectives and interpretations of myself, my guests, and spirit. Take only what resonates with your soul and let the rest drift back into the unseen. Now, breathe, listen closely, and cross the threshold into the world between realms. Welcome back to the Light Between Realms. I'm your host, Max, and before we get started, I'm going to have a little disclaimer here. Just a little reminder. What you're about to hear is a real conversation between two people who love each other, walk different inner paths, and continue to learn in public. The perspectives shared here are personal, experiential, and evolving. This podcast is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or therapeutic care. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and trust your own lived experience. Welcome to the Light Between Realms. If you're new here, this podcast usually explores spirituality, intuition, and the unseen layers of life. But today feels different. Today isn't about teaching or explaining anything. It's about learning and letting you listen in on a real conversation. I'm Max, and sitting across from me is my wife, Lucia. Lucia hosts a podcast called Life in Real Time with Lucia, and if you've ever listened to her, you already know her work lives very, very much in the here and now. And if you've listened to me for any amount of time, you know that I tend to have one foot in the unseen. We don't cancel each other out, but we don't do the same work. And learning how to respect that difference, personally and professionally, has been one of the most grounding experiences of my life. So we're here talking honestly about how our paths differ and where they meet. Lucia, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Max. And yes, we're definitely two different people and we do different work, don't we?
Yes, we do. So, Lucia, what I'd like to do is I'd like you to start by explaining how you approach healing.
Well, my work is rooted more in the body, in the lived experience, healing through real life. You know, I help people heal their traumas, their relationships, and help them in their growth. And that's how I do.
Whereas mine is rooted more in the unseen a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. It's more about the messages I get. It's more about the symbols, the themes, the different things that are affecting the person and that they may not realize,
right.
And shedding some light onto that for them so that they can start to heal.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing. Like you've always understood how I work, and sometimes I still have a hard time understanding how you work. And I do think that sometimes people are kind of like on the same page with me. They also assume that this type of work is separate. Like you're separate, I'm separate, but I don't think we are we?
No, we're not. We overreach. Like, I mean, not overreach. We what's the word? We collaborate as well. I mean, for example, like how many times have we worked on people separately? Mm-hmm. And come to the same conclusion as to what we think is going on with them.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, so it's just we come at it from a different angle. Like you come at it more from what you see, hear, and feel.
Yeah.
Whereas I come in with more of what my clairvoyance or clairaudience or clairsentience brings, and claircognizance. So it's just a different approach to getting to the same root.
Right.
Problem.
Right. I understand that. Yeah.
And I think we're pretty effective when we work together, don't you think?
I think we are. I think we are. It's like you said, we'll have a client come in and, they'll want service from me and then they'll want a service from you as well. And then by the time we leave, we look at each other and we're like, "Did you pick up on that?"
And we 90% of the time we do, don't we?
We pick up on it.
We do
right.
pick up on it, yeah. It's interesting. I remember one person I worked on where I asked you after the session if they were cheating on someone, if they were cheating on their significant other. And it turned out that no, they weren't, but they had a child because that person that I saw was so significant in their life, and it ended up being their.
It ended up being a child coming into their life. Yeah. Do you find that sometimes spiritual experiences can be dismissed? People will dismiss us because they assume it's just our imagination.
You know what? That's interesting.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one because I mean, yes, yeah, for sure. I mean, yes, this could all be our imagination, but I think that when you look at the efficacy and the fact that we both pick up on the same thing, that it and when we check, because it's not like we just imagine what we think's going on and we don't even like ask the client.
Right.
We ask the client and they actually confirm it for us.
Right.
So it's interesting that happens. I mean, a lot of people think that when they come to me for a reading, that all they're doing, that I'm just going to tell them their life story. That's not what happens. It's more of a healing session than anything else. And there's questions that a reader would ask a person, right?
Right.
And that's to fully understand the problem as well as to see what insight spirit has in this area. That's for me.
Right.
And what about for you?
For me, it's pretty much the same way. It's just different.
It's same but different. I know.
Yeah, like it's hard to explain. It's not hard to explain. I know what I feel inside. I know what I'm trying to say. It's trying to explain it to people, and that's sometimes I still have a hard time with that. When people ask me, "Well, how do you know?" And my answer is always, "Well, I just know." I don't know how to explain this to people. Like people will say, "Well, how do you know that?" I'll give you an example. I had two clients who came here. They were sisters. They both came in for the for a service who had nothing to do with a reading or had nothing to do with any of that. But while I was doing reflexology on them, the both of them, this person who's passed on just popped up. And I looked at them and I said, and I described her. And they said, "Well, it's not our mom because I know our mom is still with us, but I believe that is our grandmother, but we will go home and ask my mom." It ended up being their grandmother, but they're like, "How do you know that?"
Well, I mean, I think
I just know.
I think it's your intuition coming in. It's you are intuitive, and you also have a claircognizance and clairsentience and clairvoyance as well.
Right,
so I think that you're actually coming into my realm a little bit, which is kind of cool, and that's okay.
Right.
Because there are overlaps in the work we do, right? And you know, when you explain to people, how do you know? Sometimes it's best to say I just do.
Yeah, well, that's
because
it.
like for example, when I saw the tumor on this one client that I had, they asked me, "How do you know?" And I'm like, "Well, I just saw it," and that's how I say it. I saw it in my mind's eye.
Yeah.
I saw something wrong in my mind's eye, and that's worked for me.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something you could try.
Yeah. So when you say "in my mind's eye," and we say that a lot,
we do.
Yes. In my mind's eye. How do you explain to people, like if someone says to you, "Well, what the heck's your mind's eye?" Because some people don't know what, when you say "in my mind's eye," they don't know what you mean.
Well, then what I say to that is I'll say, "Well, close your eyes. And what do you see?"
Right. Yeah.
And what do you see? Do you see anything? If you see nothing, that's okay.
Yeah.
But do you see a picture? Because I see pictures when I close my eyes. And that's how I explain my mind's eye.
Yeah.
Because I don't see darkness when I close my eyes. Even now when I go to bed, I don't see just black. I see a movie. I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
But it means something.
Right.
And it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. It is kind of fun, but sometimes challenging because people don't get us.
Well, but I've stopped caring about them getting us.
Oh no, me too. Me too. I don't.
Because at the end of the day, we are, like I always say, spirit in a meat suit having a human experience.
Right.
And I'll actually even go one further. We are all the same spirit, meaning the Spirit of God, experiencing itself through multiple incarnations.
Yeah, you've told me that before, and I've tried. I've tried to understand that one. Like I have to really think word by word. What does he say?
Well, what I'm saying is that we all have a piece of God in us, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so so there's only one consciousness. Like I'm conscious,
Yeah.
you're conscious,
Yeah.
but we're part of the same consciousness, which is God, right? And God is having the experience through us.
Through us, yes.
So our love is God experiencing human love through the incarnation of Max and Lucy. Get it? And that's how I see it. And I think that and you know me, I'm idealistic. I think that if we just did that little mental shift for people, if everyone were able to make that mental shift and it got to critical mass, I think the world would be a better place because we would see and recognize that we're mirrors of ourselves, right?
But I think people are. I think people are
Slowly
shifting.
They are shifting, yes, and it's
slowly.
great to see, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah. People are slowly shifting, and I find that more and more of a lot of my clients that are coming in. A lot of them, we end up talking about spirituality, and I mean, one used to have work for a big firm, up there in HR and whatever, and she's just switched her entire career because she said it was just not who she was anymore.
Well, that's it, right? And that's the thing about it. I mean, for example, it's difficult to live a spirit-led life and exist in this world.
Right.
And I think that's done intentionally to a certain extent because they don't want you having a spiritually led life.
Oh, well,
because if you had a spiritually led life, if everyone had a spiritually led life,
we wouldn't be
we
where
wouldn't
we
be
are.
we wouldn't be where we are, and we wouldn't be in control, and we wouldn't be controlled the way we are either, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to think about.
Yeah,
for sure.
don't you find though, not just that people are kind of switching, or I shouldn't say switching. They're not switching, but they're
Shifting.
That's the word. They're shifting more into spirituality. They're also starting to question. They're starting to question the system. They're starting to question these beliefs. They're starting to even questioning themselves.
Yeah, they're starting to think more critically of themselves and everything that they've been subjected to, which
Right.
is a good thing, because I think for a long time,
Yeah.
we had too many things that we took as almost absolute truth, so to speak, where we wouldn't question it. Now we're questioning everything,
Right, we are.
and that's the awakening that's happening, right? Which I think is cool, and it's cool to watch. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we get there, and it's like I actually came across something. It's from the movie Ants.
Okay.
Did you ever see the movie Ants?
That cartoon, the movie.
Did you ever
Ants?
see the movie Ants? Yeah. So I know you don't like it that I watch cartoons. I know that, baby. I love you, but
I watch cartoons.
yeah, okay,
And
sure.
I watch the movie Ants.
okay. So there's a part where
I just don't watch the Warrior ones.
there's hey, look, One Punch Man's cool. Anyways, there's a part in Ants where the main grasshopper king, is trying to explain how there was one ant that stood up to them, and he's saying, well, we can't let one ant stand up to us, and they're like, well, why not? And he's like, well, okay, well, let me show you something. I'll show you let's say this ant is a piece of green, and he throws it at the other grasshopper. And he says, did that bother you? Nah. He goes, okay, well, let's say this is another ant and another piece of green, and he throws it at them, and he goes, did that bother you? He goes, nah. And he goes, okay, so when one stands up, he goes, now watch this. He pulls out the thing where all the grain is, and it all comes flooding into the grasshoppers.
Right.
And he's like, this is why one cannot stand up to us. And I think that's the same sort of mindset that goes on in society to a certain extent. Right? We don't question shit. And because we don't question shit, we just take things as is. And I think that this is now, if they talk about the technological revolution, they talk about the industrial revolution. I think now we're going through a spiritual revolution.
Oh, 100%. I think so too.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
think
it's
so
a good
too.
it's an exciting time to be alive. I mean,
Is it though?
well, it is. I mean, we'll see what happens, right? But
Right.
I mean, this 12/12 portal that just came out. I know I wasn't going to bring this up. It kicked me in the face. It was pretty tough because there were some serious things that I had to look at, and I'm like, I got to get rid of this because I want my new beginning to be as grandiose and as awesome as the universe wants it for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you find being do you find that okay, so we're both very spiritual people.
Right.
You do your work, I do my work. A lot of people will either call us or people will come to us so that we can help them spiritually, yada yada. But do you find that well, I shouldn't ask you, do you find? I know that you do go through this, and I go through this as well. Even though we are, or we think we are, strong, maybe strong is not the right word again, but you're very good with words. You're going to help me with this, I know it. Strong spiritually, we are also affected a lot
By their stuff.
by their stuff, or even affected by other people who we know are very, very spiritually intuitive, and their actions
Right.
can also affect us.
But I think that our purpose, both mine, maybe more so than yours, is to transmute that. So we're supposed to
So
go.
when you say transmute, what does that
What I
mean?
mean by that is we're supposed to almost digest it and change it into something else.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like make it something more loving when it's negative, more positive when it's negative. Sorry, more loving when it's hate, more positive when it's negative.
Right.
And I think that that's what we do. You and I do really well, actually, believe it or not.
I think I'm still working on that.
You'll get there, baby. 'Cause
Yeah,
you got me.
I think I'm still working on that. I do find at times if I don't, for our listeners, when we work on people, we always have to clear ourselves
100%.
after we've worked on someone because
Yes.
we don't want to carry that shit the entire day. for
No,
the
we
entire
don't.
day,
But,
right?
but by the same token, we're still working on ourselves. We're still working
Oh.
on them when they leave because we're still
Yes.
transmuting what they brought.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So yes, it makes sense that if we're still transmuting what they brought to us, that it's going to affect us. It's going to make you upset at me upset at you, or whatever,
or whatever the case may
or
be.
whatever the
right.
case may be. But it's also going to. But we will come back to equilibrium, which is once it's transmuted, we come back to our love.
Right, right.
That's what's cool.
exactly. It can be very
It's like
The-
a roller coaster.
like a what?
A roller coaster.
Oh yeah, it can be very challenging. The life that you and I live. Being spiritual, believing in the things that we believe in, or we hear things or we see things. We know that many people are kind of they're not against us, but they question who we are as people. I find that people don't take us serious.
What do you mean by that? Give me an example.
Well, I'm not going to mention any names.
Well, no, don't mention names. Just give me an example of how you feel that it's happening.
Well, when people say, I'm going to try and be very discreet and not use the words that they use, or else it's going to give it away.
If they listen.
If they listen. Oh, that's just a bunch of shit, or that's just in your imagination, or that's just
Okay.
hogwash, or
Okay.
you and I know
I know
the
who you
answer
are.
to that.
Yeah, we do.
I'm just bringing it up so that your listeners can.
Can digest it. So
Yeah.
So there are people that think that what we do is a bunch of shit, and they're doubting Thomases, which is fine. I'm not here to justify who or what I am and what I do. I just do it
Right.
because that's the calling. Right?
Yes.
And even if we just go about our way of transmuting that, ultimately there will be change.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
they like, I mean, I'll give you an example. Remember when COVID was going on, and everyone said, "Well, there's all this conspiracy theory," going on.
Right.
And then it turned out that the conspiracy theorists were bang on right all the time. That's the same sort of thing, right? Yes,
Yeah.
they can think it's gauche and they can think it's bullshit or whatever, and it could be in our imagination. Maybe it is to a certain extent, but what if it's not?
Well, that's it.
And if it's not,
Yeah, and that's it.
and if it's not, and we are doing it, and we get, and it sustains us, does it really matter
No,
what
no,
someone thinks?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. I mean, and I know I speak for myself. I know that this is the life I want to live, or I choose to live, because I feel better in who I am.
And that's what I mean by the evidence of efficacy. If you feel better in who you are,
Right.
and you feel better doing what you do, who is anyone to question that?
Right. Because I always felt I was being oppressed. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Like I was always feeling oppressed. I always felt like I couldn't say what I was feeling, or like I just felt I wasn't myself.
And now you are.
And now I am. I feel whole, if that makes sense.
And you are beautiful.
Well, thank you.
You're beautiful as a whole being, as a whole self, right? And I think you need to hear that
Right.
right
Thank
now.
you. Well,
And that-
thanks.
I'm getting a message that way, that you need to hear that, because you are beautiful as a whole person, right?
Well, I think we all are.
We all are, and
We
that's
all
it.
are.
And that's what I want to bring. We all are. So let's recognize that beauty. Let's recognize that God makes no mistakes.
No, he does not.
And that if we're all beautiful and we're all part of Him, why do we kill, cheat, steal, and rob?
Right.
I just don't get it. Maybe I'm looking at it from a
Well,
different perspective.
well, I mean, we know that there's influences,
Yeah, there's influences, sure.
right? There's influences
yeah.
that have people do the things that they do.
I'm talking about rising above those influences.
Okay. Yeah,
And
right.
when we rise above those influences, they shouldn't matter. Right?
You have to be a strong person to do that.
You do, and I think everyone is strong. I mean, we are created in the likeness and image of God, are we not?
Yeah.
So if we are all, I'm not going to say we are all gods, right? We are all God experiencing itself. If we tap into that,
Right.
what can take us out? Right?
Exactly.
What can stop us?
Yeah.
If we all tap into that, we will revolutionize the world, I think.
That's why we want to make a change.
And that's why we want to make a change, exactly.
So what else can we talk about?
Well,
Get
we originally started about the two realms, so the physical and the
Right.
spiritual, and we
spiritual.
became right into the spiritual, which is kind of cool. But again, let's get back to what we originally started talking about. When you do Indian head massage, do you get impressions of people?
I do.
You do. So
I
that's also
That's it's an energy exchange, right?
Right.
So because I'm doing something physical, like I do Indian head massage, I do the foot reflexology, I now do the hand reflexology. I'm a hands-on person,
right.
right? I do the fusion touch method, which is also a hands-on method. Even though I am hands-on, I am still getting messages. I am still.
You're still tapping into your intuition.
I am still tapping in, right?
Right.
Even though sometimes, and I've been told not to do this anymore. You question I question myself sometimes.
But why?
Well, I don't know, because I don't want to give someone the wrong message.
Is it a wrong message if it's coming at that particular time when that person's sitting in front of you?
Well, no, it's not, and
Then
that's
you
something
should-
I need to get
Yes, I know.
past that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's not just for me. It's not just physical.
No,
No,
I
it's
know.
not just physical.
Yeah, so
I
there's more.
also
There's
tap
more.
in. There's more.
There's more to it.
Yeah.
So basically, what we do is different, but kind of the same.
Kind of the same, yeah. Right. Because you don't need to touch someone.
No.
You do Reiki and you're just standing there beside them,
Mm-hmm.
and you are getting those messages.
They've kind of slowed down. Being truthful, they've kind of slowed down lately, and what's coming now is more like before. before I even speak with before the person's even in my presence. So it's interesting because, someone will sit down for me in front of for a reading, and I ask questions that I already know the answers to.
Yeah.
which is kind of like, it's kind of like showing myself that I'm right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like,
does,
it's like, okay, so that's making it easier and easier, and I think I do that in order to make it easier and easier for me to trust my intuition and to trust my gifts.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. I think I've only had one incident where I didn't have to touch the person, and remember when we did our first show in Kitchener, and that young man wanted a reading from you, and he lost someone who passed away in his life.
I remember him.
And when he walked away to go tell his girlfriend that he was going to sit down and have a reading with you, somebody told me in my ear it was his best friend at a party.
And what did I say it was?
And I told you it was his best friend at a party. I don't remember. What did you say it was?
I said it was like a brother to him.
Yes, something like that.
And it was his best friend. Yeah.
It was his best friend. Yeah. And it was at a party. It had to do with a party. Yeah,
it did have to do with the party.
But that was the only time I actually heard something like that. But then I was also inclined, or something told me to give him. We had a bracelet. I forget which one it was, what crystal it was, and I just said, you know what, you just need to have this and wear it.
Yeah. And he actually reached out to me on TikTok, believe it or not.
Yeah, I remember that. He did.
Reached out to me on TikTok.
He did,
He remembered me. He
so
remembered my reading and everything. And it was really interesting because when I did that reading, I actually tapped into that person's energy, and I was acting like him. Like my whole demeanor, my whole mannerisms became him.
You mean the best friend
who passed away?
That
passed away,
yeah, because you were describing him.
I was describing him,
yeah. I heard part of the reading because I'm standing there right at the booth. It was very interesting, but yeah, I'm more of a hands-on person.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm more of a hands-on. Okay. Although I've been told, someone reached out to me this week, and they want to teach me how to actually do my modalities spiritually without like hands-on.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I would take her up on that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. Although I do feel more comfortable being in the presence.
Yeah, I can understand that because that's what you know right now. That's what you know.
Yeah, that's what I know, and I think it's just more of a fear that I have.
Or is it just right now for example, I use cards, right?
Right.
People have told me I don't need the cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still use the cards because I feel more comfortable with the cards.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull a card today at the end of the show, actually.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, it's it's actually fun because now I have my whole reading kind of down to almost like an art, where I do certain things that are non-negotiable. So for example, the animal message, the angel number, that's non-negotiable. When you get a reading with me, you're going to get one of those.
Yeah.
Right? And then the cards, but I find now that even the decks I choose have an impact on that,
on the reading, an impact on the reading.
An impact on the reading, and
right.
And it's not me physically thinking I should use this deck. It's actually I feel called to use this deck.
Yeah.
So it's I'm using the decks. I'm not picking them. Spirit is picking the decks, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Because the whole experience of a reading with me it ends up being the whole experience. It ends up becoming a reading experience rather than just a reading where someone uses the same deck every time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean. I mean, and I get that. I do see some people, and some people are just comfortable using the same deck. I mean, and that's okay.
I won't lie. There's certain decks I like using, but if I'm called to use something else, I will.
Yeah.
There's one deck I love using, but I don't use it all the time.
Which one is that?
It's the Titans and Gods deck.
Okay.
So I don't use that. I use that a very specific purpose, and the very specific purpose is when the person's seeking guidance, because that reading that I've developed for that deck taps into their higher soul's purpose, and what their higher soul's purpose is, and how to get there, and then once they get there, what to do, what their mission is in life, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
but I don't do that for everyone because not everyone is ready for that.
Right, right. That's pretty neat. And you also have that other deck that I really like, the one that you say is like a punch in the face. Which one is that? The one with the symbols? Just symbols.
Yeah, I don't use that much because well, I'm going to use it more now because um, it's a lot of reading.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you have to like study all those symbols.
You have to study those symbols. There's 74, 72 symbols. I can't know.
Wow.
And it's like 3-4 pages on each symbol. I can't know. I can't memorize that.
Yeah. It's a pretty neat deck though.
It is a pretty
I like
neat
the
deck.
messages in the like even just reading,
Yeah.
the messages.
But even that one I don't use all the time because that one is like a punch in the face. Number one. Number two, it's not for everybody
Yeah.
because
because
some
it's-
people because what I find is you have to be at a level to understand what I'm saying when I use those decks. Because if you're not at that level, I can't use them because you won't understand what I'm doing, right?
Yeah,
You won't
yeah.
understand, or you won't see what I see
Yeah.
as the bridge into why this means something to you.
Right, right.
And I found that a couple times. Like I've done it once for one person or a couple people where they're saying no, this doesn't resonate, and I'm like, but it does, given the rest of the readings that I gave you with all the other decks I did. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't see it, so that taught me,
Yeah.
okay, they're not ready for this message.
Yeah.
So,
Let's talk. The one thing I wanted to ask you is, for example, people automatically assume that. So you have a lot of decks.
right.
I don't know. I've lost count of how many decks you have.
I've lost count on how many decks.
But so you'll pull a card. So for me, for example, give me that deck there for a minute, right? So I'll pull a card, right? I know you're gonna pull a card at the end. I'm just gonna show you what I mean. So I'm shuffling and I pull a card. So okay, so I pulled this card, right? So because I'm not a card reader, I don't know what this means besides just reading the message at the bottom.
Right.
So I'm gonna go into the book, right? And then a lot of people will think, well, she's gonna go into the book. Well, then that means that she's not a reader.
No.
How do you interpret that? See, I think that is, I think that what means something is the card that you pulled out of the deck,
100%.
right? That's the reading there,
And if you look at how I pull cards from the deck, I don't pull the top card every time.
right?
I pull from all over the deck.
All over
in
the
the
deck.
middle, the bottom, the top, everywhere.
Right. So it's wherever you're pulled
Wherever I'm pulled to pull the deck.
card.
That's it.
To pull
right.
the card. So people think, oh, they're gonna go into the book and read the definition of that card. Well, that doesn't mean. I disagree with that.
No, I disagree with that too because sometimes further explanation, like for example, the card you pulled, is you will manifest what you need.
Right.
Express gratitude for the plans and that have already come to pass. Trust that the angels are bringing you the assistance you need. So there's
Right.
something that you're lacking. For me, I'm reading that there's something that you've wanted to happen, and it's on its way to you, and you're bringing it into fruition. The angels are making sure that happens. See, I can go just based off that. I don't need to read the book for that
Right.
one.
Right.
But this deck that I chosen to do this reading today for is a very self-explanatory deck.
Right.
So like the reading itself makes sense, right?
So, but with you saying, there's something that you're planning that you want to happen is not in the description here of this card.
No,
But
I feel it.
you feel it. But going into, so when I'm going to open the book into 44, which is the card 44, and it says, you have big plans and amazing goals, which is exactly what you just said,
Exactly.
right? I know it might seem like there's just no way you can make it all work out, but that's not true. Your guardian angels, which is what you just said, and I are actively working to bring you all the resources necessary to move forward with your magical life purpose. So this is what I wanted to talk about or ask you about, because it's not, you reading from the book does not mean that you're not a good reader.
No, not at all. Because sometimes, like for example, with regards to certain decks, I need to read it from the book.
Yeah.
Like for example, in that deck that we talked about, symbol
one
number
with-
5.
the
I don't know
symbol-
what symbol number 5 means.
Right,
I
right.
can't know that off my head. There's nothing for me to interpret from that symbol.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I could interpret the symbol, but there's nothing really there concrete enough to explaining what that symbol is. So
Right.
I wouldn't do that. I would cater, and Spirit has told me, go to the book to explain it. And then when I'm reading from the book, then other stuff happens. It's like, oh, so it's like when you did this, when you do that, when you do this. And then I can make it more personal for the person because I'm actually seeing, because I get the impressions when I'm reading from the book with that deck. And that happens with a lot of decks as well.
Yeah. Do you ever, like, when you're giving someone a message, do you ever feel like anything, like physical stuff?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like my the hairs on the back of my neck will stand on end, and that's how I know I'm right.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot, actually. That happens a lot. But it's interesting. I mean, what about you? Do you ever feel anything physical when you're working on someone?
Yeah, it's on my right arm. My right arm, below my elbow to my hands, I feel goosebumpy.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel goosebumpy. Or, you know, if I'm just working on someone and I am working in a certain area of their body, I also have the physical part, right? So I actually do feel something on their foot that is not right, but then I will close my eyes and imagine myself inside the organ. So if I'm working, say, like on the lungs, I actually imagine myself inside their lung looking around. I know people might think that's crazy, but like I do. I actually close my eyes, get in there, and look around as I am palpating with my fingers. Right? And that is how I also receive the messages.
Right. And someone else may not be able to do it that way. Right. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great gift.
I love what I do. I love reflexology is my favorite.
That's awesome.
My favorite modality.
And I love what I do. I love the Reiki. I love doing Reiki.
Do.
I love doing card readings. I want to do more of them.
I know you do.
But yeah, so it's interesting.
Yeah. So you want to pull the card then?
Yeah, let's pull the card. So this is a card for everyone that's listening to see what Archangel Michael, because I'm using the Archangel Michael Sword of Light deck, what Archangel Michael has in store for you, what message he has for you. And I'm getting to pull 2 cards, actually, believe it or not. So, and it's a split message, so it's for 2 groups. So I'll pull this one here for one group, and this one here for the other group.
Okay.
So, and it could also be piggyback messages where it's one group, but another group with all of them.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one I got was deeper insights are at hand. Your overall plan is good, but the details need work. Reflect before moving forward. So, some people are out there, they have a plan on what they want to do with their life because actually the 1212 portals come in, there's a new beginning, they may have a plan of what they want their new beginning to be or look like. They need to work on the details for that. Okay, that's what number 8 is saying. There's deeper insights that are at hand that are coming in, that will come in once you start walking that path of your new beginning. And then the other card is welcome to the abundance into your life. Prosperity is on its way to you. Have faith that source will heal your financial challenges. I'll take that one.
I will too.
Yeah, I'll take that one. I'll be that in group number 2. So anyways, basically what that means is pretty self-explanatory, is that your new beginning is going to be an abundant one. Okay?
New beginning.
So and I'm saying new beginning because the 1212 portal was yesterday, right? And because it was yesterday, it means that it has affected the energy. Like we most of us have stepped through the portal. They've shed what they needed to shed from their old life,
right.
and their new beginning is coming. So yes. So the deeper. So and then the together message would be deeper plans, deeper insights are at hand. Your overall plan is good, but the details need work. Reflect before moving forward. So before you can move forward to your abundance, you have to reflect on how that abundance is going to come into life.
Yes, and you also have to, I definitely will take this one. I'll take the second card, welcome abundance to your life. Because a lot of us, including myself, we always question that. I always question abundance.
What do you mean you question abundance? What does that mean?
Well, because I've always been told, money is the root of all evil.
But it's not.
Oh, well, I understand that now. I understand that now. But there's still that little grain of... So
you have to shed that.
Yes.
Before you get your abundance. You realize that.
Right. And that's what I've been working on with Effie.
Good. Because the thing is if you have... So there's that song that I love hearing, remember?
Which one's that?
The one about the mirror, the universe being a mirror, where you have to take action. Action is the last creative act before the universe shows itself to you.
Yeah,
So you have to take
cool.
action, because when you look in the mirror, do you say to the mirror, smile, and it smiles back? No, you have to smile before it smiles back.
Right.
And that's exactly how the universe works. You have to take action before
Right.
the universe gives its reaction. And I think it's so beautiful, so simple in that song. I love that song. It's so awesome.
Yeah, it is very simple. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well,
so that's that. That was cool.
that was cool, Lucia.
That was nice.
I'm glad you joined. You joined today.
Oh, come on, my busy, hectic schedule.
You're awesome. Well, it was a really good experience, and to everyone out there, thank you so much for showing up, allowing me at your home with my wife. We hope you got something out of this podcast. We did ramble a bit, but that's okay.
That's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. Not sure we actually got to the topic of the light between realms, between the reality and the.
Well, we kind of talked about it.
We kind of talked about it, but kind of morphed into all one thing. But that's okay.
Yeah.
More into the spiritual thing. But that's what this is about. The light between realms
Exactly.
is about spirituality anyway. So, again, thank you for allowing me at your home. Thank you for allowing my wife as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. You guys have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. And remember, we are spirit in a meat suit having a human experience of itself. So let's make that experience the best we can. You have a wonderful day, and thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.